ఓకే సార్. ఓకే సార్.
Hello everyone, this is RSM, Faculty of Chemistry, Extension Junior College, and today I am going to explain session 2 of 5th April tentative questions from chemistry. We'll see the first question, which is related to the biomolecules. If you check the question, the question is, it's found to exist in two different animal forms, that is alpha and beta. That is the statement one. Yes, if you check the structure of glucose in a cyclic form, based on the OH at the C1 carbon, we have alpha glucose and beta glucose. So, statement 1 is there is no issue with statement 1. We'll check the statement 2. Open check the structure of C3, C4, C5 of glucose and fructose both have same orientation. We'll check it. C3, C4, and C5 configuration of glucose and fructose. As we know that glucose is an aldose while the fructose is the ketose. But if you check the C1, C2, C3 configuration, you're going to have almost the same configuration. This is your glucose. This is glucose. And if you check the fructose, we'll have the same configuration. If you check it, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Similarly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At fourth carbon, fifth carbon, third carbon, third, fourth, and fifth will have the same configuration. So statement 2 is also correct. So option is both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. Both statements are correct. So we'll check the next question. Here are two statements in which the shape of ICl3 is straight planar, while the shape of ClBr minus is so basically it is ICl3 not ICl3 minus ClBr 2 minus pyramidal. So check ICl3 contain 3 bond pairs and 2 lone pairs. Three bond pairs to have ICl and Cl and one lone pair. Two lone pairs we have in case of central atom of iron contain 2 lone pairs. Similarly, it undergoes sp3d hybridization. If you check ClBr Br2 minus, it contains 7 minus 3 by 2. We're going to have a 4 by 2, 2 lone pairs, 2 lone pairs, and 2 bond pairs. 2 bond pairs. Hybridization, we are going to have sp3d. In both the cases, the hybridization is same. But if you check ICl3 will have a V shape, whereas ClBr2 minus will have some bend shape. So both the statements are wrong. Statement 1 and statement 2 are incorrect. Okay, we'll go for the next question. So this is a question from chemical equilibrium. So the chemical equation 2AB reversibly gives rise to A2 plus. They are given the equilibrium pressure as P and the degree of dissociation alpha. Then what will be the getting? We take the equation. If you check the equation, 2AB reversibly gives rise to A2 plus B2. At time t is equals to 0, 1 mole of AB present and 0 moles of B2 AB. At time t is equals to B equilibrium, I'm going down 1 minus alpha and alpha by 2 and alpha by 2 moles of A2 and B2. The total moles will be 1 minus alpha plus alpha by 2 plus alpha by 2, that is equals to 1 alpha by 2 plus alpha by 2 is nothing but alpha, and minus alpha plus alpha can cancel and we left with the total moles is 1. So now the partial pressure of AB, partial pressure of AB square is nothing but 1 minus alpha by 1 square into P square total pressure at equilibrium. Similarly, A2, if you write partial pressure of A2 is nothing but alpha by 2 into P, and partial pressure of B2 is nothing but alpha by 2P. So we can write that Kp is nothing but partial pressure of A2 into partial pressure of B2 by partial pressure of AB square. After substituting, we are going to get alpha by 2 square into P square by 1 minus alpha, 1 minus alpha, 1 minus alpha square into P square. P square get cancel. You are going to get alpha square by 4 into 1 minus alpha square. This is what the value of Kp for this reaction. You can check the option. There it is going to be alpha square by 4 into 1 minus alpha. This is what the solution from the question number 3 from chemical equilibrium. So next we check which compound have total molecular mass is equal to 72. It is from the general organic simple question from basics. If you know the structure, you can get the answer. So check how many with the 3 primary carbons. You want 3 primary carbons with a molecular mass of 70. First we check how many compounds you have. 3 primary carbons. Option A, if you check, it is n-pentane. It is only having 2 primary carbons, so you can rule out the option A. Then check option B. Option B again, 2 dimethyl butane. It is having 1, 2, 3, 4. It is having 2 carbons, primary carbons. Here it is having 4 primary carbons. Option C, if you check, cyclopropane, 1 dimethyl cyclopropane. It is having 2 tertiary carbons, primary carbons. And option D, if you check, dimethyl 2-methyl butane contain 3 primary carbons. 3 primary carbons, so your answer is unknown, and we cross check the solar mass also. The total number of carbons are 1, 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, 60 plus hydrogens are 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So the molar mass is equal to 72. So your answer is 2-methyl butane. 2-methyl butane. Next question. So this from the general organic chemistry. The overall specific strength of the following compounds is they give the structures: phenol, para-nitrophenol, ethanol, and para-hydroxyphenol. I will take the structures of each compound. This is a phenol. This is a para-nitrophenol, and you have ethanol and para-methoxyphenol. These are the four compounds given. So the first statement I can give. Phenols are more acidic compared to alcohols. Simple thing. The phenols are more acidic compared to alcohols. So the acidic character of phenols can be increased by electron withdrawing groups. Electron withdrawing groups. So NO2 is electron withdrawing group. Where OMA is, it is less than and minus. So anyway, the alkyl group is a donating group. This is plus I and plus N. But here it is alcohol anyway, less acidic compared to phenols. So if you check the options, the para-nitrophenol is more acidic compared to methoxy and phenol also. But electron withdrawing groups will decrease the acidic character of phenols. So we can go with phenol followed by para-methoxyphenol followed by ethanol. This is what you can check the option BADC. Option A. So simple question from general organic chemistry. Just based on the acidic character of phenols. We'll check the next question. So this is one of the important questions from electrochemistry. Consider the following electrochemical cell. Zinc by G2 plus aqueous 1 molar solution and silver by Ag plus by Ag. First, we try the reaction. If you check your zinc undergoing the oxidation converted into G2 plus aqueous plus 2 electrons. And similarly, silver undergoes the reduction. I'll take 2 electrons, 2 Ag, gives us 2 Ag solid. This is aqueous. If you write the cell reaction, simply your 2 Ag plus Zn gives us 2 Ag2 plus I'm sorry 2 Ag plus Zn2. This is what is the reaction. Your zinc undergoes the oxidation and silver undergoes the reduction. Now, what they are asking, E cell was found to be, they gave the E cell, the value of log of Ag plus concentration of silver ion, we need to determine from the data E0 cell of silver and E0 cell of zinc. First, we need to determine the E0 cell. E0 cell is equals to E1 cathode minus E0 and E0 cathode minus E0 and your cathode. See, the silver here acts as cathode and zinc acts as anode. So, cathode E0 value 0.8 minus 0.76, that is equals to 1.56 volt is the E0 cell. Now we can get back to the Nernst equation. By using the Nernst equation, we can determine the cell. So E cell is equals to E0 cell minus 0.06 by n into log of concentration of oxidation answered by reduction. So E0 cell, the value of E0 cell 1.6 volt. E cell at E0 cell is 1.56 volt minus 0.065. N values to log of concentration of silver they gave 1 molar. So 1 by concentration of Ag plus square. Take this to the opposite side. this value is equals to 0.04. That is equals to, you can write minus 0.03 log of 1 by h plus, and reciprocate the equation. And reciprocate the equation 0.04 is equals to 0.03 log of concentration of h plus the power 2. Take the power to the before the log, you are going to get 0.04 is equals to 0.06 log of concentration of h plus. So your answer is going to be 3. So 2 by 3 is equals to log of concentration of Ag plus. So they are asking what is the value of log of silver ion concentration? The value of silver ion concentration is equals to 2 by 3. This is one of the good question in this session. Okay, from electrochemistry. Next. It is not Ag solution, it is a solution. The solution of the compound X is acidified with H2SO4 and SO2 is passed through a turning the solution green. The compound X is basically chromium complexes react with sulfur gives the green color compound that is chromium sulfates in presence of this medium. Simply if you take K2Cr2O7 react with SO2 in presence of H2SO4 or H2SO4, we're going to get K2SO4 plus Cr2SO4 twice. Cr2SO4 twice plus H2O. Here it is going to be chromium, which is a green color. Green color. So, chromium sulfate formation of Cr2SO4 twice is the reason for the green color of the compound. It can be given by potassium dichromate. Potassium dichromate. So next we'll check. So this is what directly you can answer. Whether you know these questions or not, you can answer this question. How to answer this question? If you check the reaction, red phosphorus chlorine in H2O, it is a H3 chain reaction. Goldhart Gelansky reaction. A simple reaction. You should know what is the H3 chain reaction. So formation of alpha halo acids. We are going to get alpha halo acids. Check the option which has the alpha halo acid. That is the answer. No ambiguity at all. But I'll give an explanation for this. If you take cyanides on hydrolysis, acidic hydrolysis, you get carboxylic acids. So now the carboxylic acid reaction with red phosphorus by chlorine, you are going to get alpha chloropropanoic acid. The answer is where you have the alpha chloropropanoic acid option B. This is what a simple question from your organic chemistry is based on the chemical reaction. Next we'll check. So choose the incorrect statement. They're asking incorrect statement about the tertiary structure of proteins. Fibrous and globular proteins are the type of secondary structure. Yes, that is true. So both fibrous and globular are the part of the second tertiary structure of protein. It represents the overall folding polypeptide chain and disulfide linkage in hydrogen bond stabilizes the tertiary structure also. But during the denaturation, tertiary structure remains intact. No, because the hydrogen bonds and disulfide linkage will get affected or the bond get break. Hydrogen bonds get break during the denaturation. So it does not remain that your option is incorrect. That is what from biomolecules. You can see two questions from biomolecules. The first question we have seen with respect to glucose and fructose, and the second next we have this protein related question. Next check statement type of question is given. Aluminum react with sodium hydroxide to give Al-6. That's what. Generally, sodium aluminate is going to be formed with alumina react with aluminum react with NaOH. We are going to get Na Na4OH taken for sodium aluminate NaOH4. This is what the compound going to be formed with aluminum with sodium hydroxide. They say ClO3 and ClO4 are bound pyramidal and tetrahedral respectively, which is the structure of ClO2. ClO2 we are going to have structure like this. It is a band shape with a lone pair of electron, and ClO3 going to have pyramidal. It is a pyramidal shape. If you check ClO4 having tetrahedral geometry. Yes, all the three are correct. All three are correct. This is a band shape. This is going to have pyramidal geometry, and this is tetrahedral geometry. So statement is correct, and statement one is false. This is what the question number 10. We'll check the next question. Decrease in order of stability in the following. This is also related to general organic chemistry. This is the second question from the general organic chemistry. They ask the stability order of the following alkenes. So, stability of alkenes can be explained by your hyperconjugation on alpha hydrogens, more the alpha hydrogens, more to the stability. Alpha hydrogen is proportional to the stability. If you check first option, it contains 6 alpha hydrogens and it contains 12 alpha hydrogens. 12 alpha hydrogen is contained 9 alpha hydrogen and is contained only 3 alpha hydrogen. The more stable is B is more stable, followed by the C, followed by A, and followed by D. This is what. So, more the alpha hydrogens, more the stability. How much I am related to this? For example, the electricity here, for example, if they give something like this. In this case, we have 6 alpha hydrogens here also 6 alpha hydrogen. But out of those, both have the 6 alpha hydrogen. This is a 6 form and there is a trans form. As we know that trans form is more stable compared to 6 form. So there is not such a crystal from here. Directly they give the number of alpha hydrogens. Based on the number of alpha hydrogen, we can directly determine the stability of alkenes. Okay, we'll get back to the next question. So they say if the bond of the molecule is RAB, so they say bond of AB molecule, they said AB molecule का bond length they say RAB or radius bond length. But the radius of A, B are RA and RB respectively. For example, this is A and this is B. This is RA, this is RB. Radius of A is RA, radius of B is RB. But what is the condition they gave? Then which of the following relation is correct? If XA is greater than XB, electronegativity of A is greater than electronegativity of B. When electronegativity of A is greater than electronegativity of B, the bond contains the polar character. When the bond contains the polar character, the bond that is going to increase. It is going to have the covalent character. This is heavy molecule. So individual components are more compared to the overall component after they combine together. So radius of A is greater than radius of AB molecule. Individual molecules radius greater compared to when they combine together due to the polar nature of the bond. We'll check an expression. So this is related to the kinetics. They get the graph. Check the graph carefully. The graph is between the concentration versus the time or the half. So they said it's a straight line passing through the. If you check, P half is directly proportional to its initial concentration. Where do we see this relation? This is related to zero order reactions. Half life of zero order. So P half is directly proportional to zero. So they get the initial concentration. At this concentration, half life is 260. So I said P half is proportional to zero. So P half, I said 260. At 260, the value, initial concentration value they gave 1.25 into 10 power minus 3. And they're asking they want the value of x. At this point, what is the time? What is the half life? At this point, the concentration is 2.5 into 10 power minus 3. So x is proportional to 2.5 into 10 power minus 3. Guys, I'm going to take the proportional constant from here starting. If you take that combine these two equations, 260 by x is equals to 1.25 into 10 power minus 3 by 2.5 into 10 power minus 3. It will go for 2 times. So x is equals to 520 minutes. 520. This is what the answer for the question. Kinetics. So your answer is 520 minutes. Okay, we'll go to the next question. So this is from qualitative properties. Qualitative properties. If you check from the beginning, they covered the question from electrochemistry, chemical kinetics, chemical equilibrium, and now it is a time for the solutions and qualitative properties. There is a question added from solutions and qualitative properties, and based on the osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure. What is the question given? 20 grams of hemoglobin is present in 1 liter solution at 300 Kelvin. The osmotic pressure was found to be 80 mm mercury. The molar mass of hemoglobin is approximately. There, see what is the importance of the qualitative properties to determine the molecular masses of the unknown solute compounds. Here are unknown solutes. Hemoglobin is known, but we don't know the molecular mass of hemoglobin because it is a macromolecule. How to determine this? We know that pi is equals to osmotic pressure, pi is equals to ICR, or PV is equals to ICR, or I can write PV is equals to nRT, pi is equals to. You can write. So this value they get 80 mmHg, but I want to convert this into atmosphere. So 80 by 760 atmosphere, volume is 1 liter. I look for the hemoglobin is 1. Hemoglobin is 1. Or we can write one more thing we can do. So we can take PV is equals to nRT. From this also we can determine. So pressure they get 80 by 760 and volume is 1 liter. L is weight by gram molecular weight. So we need to determine this gram molecular weight of hemoglobin. R value I'm going to take in liter atmosphere because pressure I taken in the atmosphere and the volume in the liter. So you are going to get 0.0821 liter atmosphere into temperature they get as 300 Kelvin. 300 Kelvin. So simply 80 by 760 is equals to weight of 20 grams, 20 by gram molecular weight into thus we can calculate 24.63, 24.63 cancel. Cross multiply we want this value as the gram molecular weight of the hemoglobin is equals to 76 into 5 into 24.63 divided by 2. Now the second cancel, it is going to be 38. If you multiply, and you are going to get the value of equals to 4674 gram per mole. This is what you answer the question. Is related to your solutions and molecular properties, and the question is based on the automatic question. Next question is a statement type of question. In this paper, we can check the more number of statement type of questions. This is the fourth statement type of question that we have come up with. Just check the statement mark. When the value of physical quantum number for the structure is same, then higher the value of principal quantum number, higher is the energy. Similar, I'm saying, if the L value is same, as N value increases, energy increases. They're saying if L value is same, N value increases, so energy increases. Is the what statement one is saying? We'll check it. For example, 1x, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x, and so on. As we go down, the L value is fixed, L value is 0, and L value is increasing. As the L value is increasing, the energy is increases. True statement is. Now we compare energy of 4s structure is here also we can use n minus n value more than minus n more than n plus n value more into the energy. That will be useful for the second statement. If you check the second statement, energy of 4s structure is greater than 3D structure. You check the 4s and 3D. What is the n plus L for 4s and what is the n plus L for 3D? For 4s, it is 4 plus 0. For 3D, 3 plus 2. The value is equals to 4 here, the value is equals to 5. So more the n plus L value, more will be the energy. Here, 4s subshell is greater than the 3D subshell with respect to its energy is incorrect statement. So your statement 1 is correct and the statement 2 is wrong. Next, we check the next question. So, which set of the following has the same character of oxide? If you check, generally change your aluminum, beryllium will have some amphoteric oxides. We have amphoteric oxide, alumina is an amphoteric oxide. P2O3 is a basic oxide. It is a basic oxide. Basic oxide, and this is an amphoteric oxide. And if you check Cr2O3 is also having some amphoteric character. And NO is a neutral oxide. Neutral oxide. Your carbon monoxide is also a neutral oxide. And N2O nitrous oxide is a neutral oxide. And SLO is amphoteric oxide, where N2O4 is acetic oxide. So we have a few neutral oxide. What are the neutral oxide that we have? Carbon monoxide, nitrous oxide, nitric oxide. These three are the neutral oxide. There are non-metal oxides. In general, we know non-metal oxides are acetic oxide, but except these three, all these three are neutral oxides. Neutral oxides. So the set which has the same character of oxides is carbon monoxide and nitrous oxide. Both are neutral in nature. Next question. Consider the following case in an octahedral complex. Octahedral complex. We are splitting by T2C and TC. Okay. We'll check low spin D3. Either it is high spin or low spin. We are going to write. Yeah, if it is high spin, we'll check low spin. This is low spin. Low spin D3, number of unpaired electrons are asking. Total number of unpaired electrons here, 3 electrons are unpaired. Okay. D5. So if you take a D5 configuration, which is also saying the low spin complex, low spin multiplicity, periodic express, will check high spin, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 high spin, and again we are having low spin of D6. So periodic express, all 6. Here it is 1 electron, here it is 3 electron, here it is 0 electrons. The total electrons are equals to 7 electrons. 7 electrons are the total number of unpaired electrons with the latest spin multiplicities. So the answer is 7. I will go back to the next question. Consider the reaction. Your glycerol reagent react with water to form alkane. It makes a 1.4 liter per gram STP. How much alkane is formed? 1.4 liter, decimeter cube centimeter liter. 1.4 liter per gram STP. Then they are asking what is the molecular mass of alkane that's formed in the following sequence of reaction. Guys, if you check 1.4 liter there, 1 gram of compound, 1 gram of the RH, then 22.4 liters will there. How many grams of RH? If you consider this 1.22.4 by 1.4, if you cancel, you get 16 grams. This is the molecular weight of RH. But we have R from that RH total is 16. If you remove the hydrogen, alkyl value became 15 gram. So 2 alkyl gram, 2 alkyl groups we have 15 plus 15, that is equal to 30 grams. So 30 grams is the molecular mass of alkane in gram per mole. Okay, guys, this is what the chemistry part of fifth second step. You can see the various questions which are directly asked, and few questions are indirectly asked. Whatever it is, the paper is it is moderate to easy or easy to moderate. You can, if you think properly, you can answer the maximum questions, and that's it. With the chemistry point of view, all the best for your rest of the exams. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is Ravi Kiran, Faculty of Physics at Extension Mandapur. Now we will be having the paper discussion for JEE Mains second shift paper. The paper was more or less moderate to start with. We could see that there were a few easier questions, few questions that were very easy to start directly formula based, and then there were also a few questions which needed some kind of depth as far as approach to the concept goes. We'll first run through the questions and then we can discuss in detail which were the more doable ones, which were the less doable ones, such kind of things. So here's a first question. A rigid body rolls without slipping up an up inclined plane with an initial speed v. Rises to a maximum vertical height of 7v square by 10v. What's the kind of the ball? So this is based on the fact that when bodies of various kinds, spherical or having a circular cross section, roll up by certain surface. Let's say they are initial velocity v, and then we will be able to see how things change. Suppose that it initially had a kinetic energy, it was already rolling, so it will have an initial kinetic energy v that's given by half mv square plus half I omega square, which can be written as half into mv square plus moment of inertia into v square by r square. This is how I would like to write it. Or we can further rewrite it as v square by 2 times plus I by r square. The reason we do it in this specific fashion is because I do not have an idea regarding what moment of inertia is. So it would be better to just write it in this fashion and then equate that this initial kinetic energy, the lost kinetic energy that would occur, that's v square by m into m plus I by r square, must be equal to the gain in potential energy that would occur on the other side, which should be g times 7v square by 10. I mean, even in the obvious step of kinetic plus potential initial v equal to kinetic plus potential. But I believe that that is something that's implied there. So you would be left with m plus I by r square whole divided by 2 should be equal to 7m by 10. Send 2 to the other side and do the adjustment until you get I by r square is equal to. So 2 sent to the other side, this makes it 14m by 10, and subtracting m, you will be left with 4m by 10, 2m by 5. So we can conclude that the moment of inertia of this circular object is 2 by 5 r square. That brings us to the conclusion that the circular object in question is a solid sphere. This is how it was to be solved. I would say that most of the times we can look at the numbers having 7 and 10 in it and probably guess the answer also, right? So this should be considered in this equation, especially since it's come from module, it's there in modules exercise 1 also. We'll move on to the next question. So here is escape velocity on Earth being mentioned as root of 2gr. That's an obvious formula that need not be mentioned. For a planet of half the radius of Earth with density equal to that of the Earth. So there is a mention of a planet. Radius of the planet is mentioned as radius of Earth divided by 2. That's half the radius of Earth. And the density of the planet is being mentioned as being equal to density of the Earth. Given that these both are there, the escape velocity shall be v by l in terms of velocity, then you are supposed to find the value of it. Probably we'll start with the formula. The escape velocity. Escape velocity is root of 2g times r, as mentioned in the question itself. And we can reconvert it to become gm by r squared times r. And probably even reconvert this yet again so that remember that mass also has a factor of radius in it. So to account for it, we'll write it as 4 by 3 pi r cube times rho. That's when we are ensuring that density remains constant and radius becomes the variable divided by r square and into r. And this will give us root of 8 by 3 g pi rho. And then r cube into r is r power 4 upon r square is r square. So the general conclusion is that velocity escape is proportional to r. This is the first conclusion that we should come to based on the given data. And then we will be able to write that the escape velocity for the planet divided by escape velocity for the Earth will be equal to radius of the planet divided by radius of Earth. We know that radius of planet is half of Earth's radius, so this is equal to 1 by 2. Or henceforth we can write that velocity of planet, velocity escape for the planet is equal to escape velocity of the Earth divided by 2. So n value turns out to be. This is the conclusion that we should come. Decent question. It's probably dependent on how we see. I think they had left a few hints in the question by writing VE by n, where n has to be an integer answer. Otherwise, if you just solve with the fact that it's being proportional to root of r, you would end up with an option that looks like 1 by root, which cannot be fed on the resistance. That's something that should make you think back and forth, if not anything more. The next one, particle of mass is taken from the surface of Earth to a height equal to 2r above the surface, where r is the radius of Earth, the mean gravitational potential. So there is the second question on gravitation in the paper. Gravitation seems to have given a lot more importance this time. So it's taken to a point wherein the height of the particle from the surface is to a height equal to 2r above the surface. Be very, very careful about it. This is where they trick us generally, which means that the corresponding distance from center of Earth is being 3r. So we should solve it with respect to 3r. Now, if you look at options also, you can clearly see that there are two options that we have. GMM by 2r format in them and GMM by 3r format. There are a couple more options. So that's where the trick lies. That the moment we see 2r in a hurry, we'll do the problem for 2r distance from center of planet and not 3r. Here's gravitational potential energy gain, delta U is being asked. This is a straightforward application of the formula, final minus initial potential energies. The final potential energy will be GML by 3R minus of the initial potential energy should be GML by R. Except that the only other important difference to keep in mind is that the formulae have minus in them. When you subtract them both, you should end up with a certain answer. It should be minus GMM by R taken common. 1 by 3 minus 1. That's why you get it as 2/3 of GMM by R. Straightforward maths after you realize what needs to be done. They're just waiting for you to get tricked into 2R. That's GMM by 2R options. And the other two options are there more or less to confuse us, so it's not a big deal. This is question number 3. Two questions for gravitation only. So one more question again. Part of gravitation is used, but of course, I hope everyone remembers the obvious dimension of G. In case you have still not appeared for the examination, remember that G is a very, very important quantity when it comes to knowing the dimensions. Dimensions of G is something that suggests you to remember as M inverse, L cube, P inverse. Because they tend to be repeated very often, especially in questions related to dimensions. So this is how it should be done. Dimension of root of G, H is Planck's constant. Now this is something I will not directly remember. I don't remember at least. But this is how I do it. I write it as ml square T inverse square energy by frequency, which is T inverse, and that's why the dimension would be ml square T inverse. Simpler conclusion, I'm using the formula that H is equal to energy by frequency from equal to H2 into. And on the other hand, C is LT inverse, C is speed of light, so I use speed dimension to that. So given these three, now we will come to look for the dimension of GH by C power 5 first. GH by C power 5 would have the dimensions of M inverse, Q T inverse square times dimension of H, which is ml square T inverse, also the dimension of angular momentum, divided by L power 5 T to the power of minus 5. And you can clearly notice that M gets cancelled, the L also gets cancelled, and you'll be left with T to the power of minus 2, minus 1 plus 5. That's T squared. So root of GH by C would have the dimensions of that. This is how it's expected to be solved. Straightforward, not much complication. So here's the next question. Current electricity has been asked about. In this, especially external resistance and what goes on with external resistance. So here's a cell. The cell is connected to an external resistance. The moment they write external resistance, implying that there's also some part discussion on internal resistance. The internal resistance of the cell is anyhow asked. So we'll go on. We'll say that the cell has an internal resistance R, and now the external resistance is here, capital R. This is epsilon. A cell is connected to an external resistance and current is directly being spoken of. So normally you can directly relate this circuit as a simple straightforward series circuit. So epsilon should be equal to I into capital R plus small. And that is why current should be epsilon by capital R plus. So there's no mention of what the EMF of this cell is. We'll write it as epsilon only. So 0.25 amperes must be equal to epsilon divided by 5 plus smaller. This is the first case wherein the external resistance is being 5. Now, if you replace it with 2 ohms, the current becomes 0.5 amperes. 0.5 should be equal to epsilon by small r plus 2. You will probably solve these both expressions. I will equate epsilon to epsilon. So, the first equation is 0.25 times 5 plus r. Should be equal to epsilon in the second equation, which is 0.5 times r plus 2. That brings us 0.25 r, 0.5 r, so 0.25 r on the other side should be equal to 0.25 times 5 is 1.25 minus 0.5 times 2 is 1. You get 0.25 is 0.25 r. So the conclusion is obvious that the internal resistance of this cell should be 1 ohm. Again, a point probably easier for the current electricity chapter. The question had been straight. It's just we need to understand what's the circuit given. We need to interpret what's the circuit given, which is not explicitly written. Sixth question. The optics here: thin convex lens, thin concave lens are placed very close. Let their focal lengths be f1 and f2. Based on their combination, choose the correct statement. What is the difference and how does the system behave is being asked. Changing the distance between lenses does not change the focal length of the system. Now, this is an obviously wrong option. If you remember the formula for net focal length, it has minus d upon f1, which means that this is definitely a wrong option. Now, we are going to search between the other thing. What happens when the focal length of convex is more? What happens when the focal length of convex is less? So let's think of it this way. Let's speak in terms of power. If power of convex is more than power of concave, then in option 1, the net power of the combination will be equal to power of convex plus power of concave. This would always be a minus sign on it. So you are indirectly subtracting and you will be still left with a positive quantity, which is the power of the system. Positive quantity means that the system effectively behaves like a convex lens. And that rules out option 1 while confirming option 2. Now, we just wanted to check with option 3. See, this is how we do it. Once we know that one option is wrong, we should also check for the other. Sorry, one option is right. We should check for the other 3 to be wrong. Now, if the focal length of convex is lesser, that is, the power of convex is lesser than the power of a concave lens put together. So, the power of the combination, this is like having plus 2 diopters and minus 3 diopters. So, the power of combination will end up negative. So, the system will behave like a concave lens, if any. And you can notice that it behaves like a concave lens. So here is a couple of options that are being met. I probably believe that the length of concave is more, so concave power is lesser. I think I used these on side. So this is the other way around. That's what the data should be. So this behaves like a convex lens because the net power of the system is still going to be positive. Net power of the system is still going to be positive, so it's going to be as a convex lens. It's not there in option 3, so we are only left with one option. Question straightforward. Next one, given a velocity versus time graph, kinematics for a particle, linear increase to mu naught at 20 seconds and then linear decrease to 40. So there's a graph that is given in the question. Find the magnitude of acceleration at t is equal to 5 seconds. I think the question is pretty simple once you understand how the graph is. While they try to scale us with the graph, there's very little data on which we need to focus. Here's 20 seconds, here's mu naught. So this point will be 20 comma u. On the other hand, the origin is there, so this is point 0 comma 0. In which case they are asking us the magnitude of acceleration. Acceleration should always be the slope of velocity time graph. Since the velocity time graph is a straight line, you can directly write y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, and that's where you will have to keep on. I think the question is, if any, just there to confuse us, especially the remaining parts of the data, the trickier parts written down there. All of these are there just to confuse us, just to pull us apart. It's a very simple question. This is something I would like expect every student to answer who is preparing. The next one, 8 drops coalesce to form a single new drop. The ratio of points of energy to the total surface. So here are 8 drops. They coalesce to form a big drop. We will always remember that the process of coalition means that the volume of the total drops must remain conserved. How much our volume is there for these drops, that must be equal to that. So 8 into 4 by 3 pi times the radius of small drop is not mentioned anyway, so we'll take it as small r cube should be equal to 4 by 3 pi capital R cube. Cancel out 4 by 3 on both sides, you will get 8 small r cube equal to capital R cube or 2 small r equal to capital R. This is the relation between radii. Also, relation between the surface energies is being asked. So, energy initially should be 8 times surface tension into area, which is 4 pi small r square, which we can write it as T into 4 pi. I will take common because it's going to repeat it in its formula also, times 8 small r square. Whereas the final energy, when it becomes one big drop of radius capital R, should be equal to surface tension into 4 pi capital R square, and that is written as T 4 pi into capital R square. Given these both, they are ratio of surface energy of single drop to total surface energy of 8 drops. Now, this is one trick point because they wrote the final condition first. The single drop formed is being written finally, and then the original 8 drops is being mentioned. So they want a ratio of the final to initial energies and not initial to final. The options are pretty clear about it. So you can probably proceed and write that the final energy is 4 pi t capital R square divided by 4 pi t into 8 times small r square, cancel out 4 pi t. Don't do the mistake. Now this is another trap set for us by directly marking 1 by 8 as the answer just because we know what is 1 by 8. We think that radii need to be cancelled. But remember that the bigger radius is actually twice the smaller radius. So this is 2 small r the whole square divided by 8 r square. We get that the radius is 1 by 2. Remember that the options feature 1 by 8 in between, which might be confusing for us. Not a very tough question, again a direct question from most of the modules, but something to think about, especially the way the options are designed to trick us. Next one, current electricity, second question again. The circuit provided, there's a 2-volt source, there's a 2 ohm 416. Find the voltage across 2 microfarad capacitor in the steady state. Okay. So they want the voltage across these 4 points. Here. Now remember that there was a condition for steady state. Steady state always means that current through capacitor should become zero. The current through capacitor becomes zero. You can redraw the circuit effectively working at that instant as a 2 ohm resistor there and a 6 ohm resistor there. These are the points P and Q between which capacitor exists. Similarly, here is some resistor. Let's also mark this point as R. Now remember that since the central line is shorted out, since the central line is no more accepting current, you can probably just do the main line current, and that would be current in the main loop to be equal to 2 volts by 6 ohms plus 2 ohms, or you get it as 0.25 amperes. This is how it goes. Now, this gives us the current there. So to find the potential drop across P to R first should be equal to current through 2 ohm resistor into 2 ohms. That is one way to find it. Current through the 2 ohm resistor is being the part of the mainline current, which is 0.25 amperes into resistance of the 2 ohm resistor is up to 2 ohms. So you get this 0.5 ohms. So this is the potential drop across P to R, but they ask us only potential drop from P to Q. So I'll rather write or speak of potential drop from Q to R. From Q to R is a resistor. Now remember that the current flowing through is 0. So the potential drop from Q to R must be 0 since current is 0. So we will be left with the potential drop from P to Q being equal to 0.5 volts. This is the conclusion just for the voltage and you will get it straight. Now the trick part, probably the question is understanding that there's going to be a drop and being careful about how you measure the potential drop across the 6 ohm resistor. That's where 3/2 volts is given as an option. 4 volts is an invalid option that could have been eliminated by anyone. 1 volt is very much within the range between these four. So at least while doing option elimination, you can always eliminate 4 volts. Because there's only one 2-volt battery. Now, nowhere in the potential difference can be more than 2 volts. Next one. Wheel initially at rest is subjected to uniform angular acceleration. First 2 seconds it rotates to a theta 1, next 2 it rotates to theta 2, find the ratio. So the easier method to this probably is just to notice the original question in its own form. Convert it into linear form, we already know this as a fact and we are taught in very first classes as a fact. But beyond that, I would probably prefer to do this one. Initially at rest, omega initially is subjected to a uniform angular acceleration. Alpha is some constant, let's call it alpha. The first 2 seconds it rotates through theta 1. So theta 1 is simply 0 into 2 plus half into alpha into 2 square. That's like writing 2. And theta 2 in the next 2 seconds. So I'll do from 0 to 4 seconds first. Then theta 2 will be theta 2 plus theta 1 will be the total distance covered because we are going from 0 to 2 plus 2 to 2. This should be equal to 0 times 4 seconds plus half into alpha into 4 square. That's like writing 8 alpha. So theta 2 itself can be concluded as 8 alpha minus 2 alpha. You get it as 6 alpha. So the ratio of theta 2 to theta 1 is 6 alpha to 2 alpha. You get it as 3. The answer, there's a chance to get confused and mark it 1/3. Be very careful about it. That's the only trick part. Also, the reason 4 is mentioned is suppose you calculated the ratio 2 alpha to 8 alpha. Then you would be ending up with 4 and probably be marking it. So these are two trap options that are set for you. 6 is a invalid option. Next one, magnetic field passes perpendicularly through a coil. So a coil is mentioned, its radius is smaller and its resistance itself is smaller. Find the current through the coil. Find the current through the coil. So we'll write that EMF induced is E times area times angle between them. That's flux. Then the time differential of this flux. So d by dt of 2t square 2t4 into area, that's in concern. Area in concern should be pi small r square. So do the substitution to get. And passes perpendicularly, which means let's say field is either outwards or inwards, one of them. So B bar points out of the board, A bar also points out of the board. So cos of the angle between Z. That is why this is a constant. So pi r square into cos 0 is 1 times differentiation would result in 4p plus 2. Find the current at t is equal to 3 seconds is being asked. So this is EMF and correspondingly current should be EMF by resistance. That is pi small r square into 4t plus 2 by capital R. Now comes the substitution part. Pi is there in all the options, so don't substitute the pi, leave it there. Radius is mentioned as 20 centimeters. Be very careful to convert it into meters and write it as 0.2 meters. So square into 4 times C is being given as 3 plus 2 divided by resistance of 10 ohms. What is the strength simplification? 4 times 3 is 12 plus 2 is 14. 14 pi by 10 into 2 by 10 square is 4 by 100. So you get it as this option 5.65 times 10 to the power of -2. This is what we should look for. This might be a difficult question, especially because they are asking us a lot of dependence and kind of electromagnetic induction things. Next one, there are two lenses being mentioned. Two concave lenses, focal length of lens 1, focal length of lens 2. Separated. And the final measurement object located so and so. So I will draw the real life diagram so that it's easier for me. Focal length is negative, which means that these are concave lenses. So f is -10. Object is here. It will form an image. Now, what's the tendency of formation of an image? We know that lines drawn parallel to the principal axis after refraction go away, and lines through poles will always pass and be rotated. So this is the first image that I would call it X. X stands for intermediate image. That's where the image must be formed. The reason I draw the three-body ray diagram before is for us to have a clarity on where the image. Now to do that, we'll write it as 1 by f equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. So 1 by focal length is negative, -10 should be equal to 1 by the position of x minus of 1 by initial distance is -15. So you can write 1 by the position of x is plus 1 by 15 minus 1 by 10. Take the LCM at 30. 15 times 2 minus 3 is -1. So V should be -30 centimeters. This one. plus and minus to the other side. So this would be a minus, and that makes it minus 6/30. Makes it minus 5/30. So the last, so we should be minus 6 centimeter, which means that the image is formed 6 centimeters over there. Now again, for the second lens, we will do the combination. So this time, second lens is there, and this distance is mentioned as 15. So the distance to the second lens from your object is this much, which is 6 plus 15 centimeters or 21 centimeters. Focal length of the second lens is mentioned as minus 15. Again, apply the same formula, which is 1 by minus 15 should be equal to 1 by b minus of 1 by minus 21. That becomes a plus 1 by 21. Bring it to the other side. 1 by b will be minus 1 by 15 minus 1 by 21. Now take the LCM at 105. It should be minus 7 minus 5. So B should be 105 by 12 centimeters from L2. So now they are asking us the distance from the other side, and the options are a bit tricky. We'll probably simplify this and write it as by 435 centimeters, which means that the image is formed somewhere here 35 by 4 centimeters. And the image so formed is virtual because rays obviously diverge. So this is the best option everywhere. We move on to the next one. Ideal gas, but also process PDQ is constant. What's the polytropic constant for this process? Polytropic constant is only being asked. That's simpler. Polytropic constant is the constant in the format PV power gamma equal to constant. We can write it as P into temperature, and prefer to write it as PV by NR. Whole cube is mentioned as a constant. So that becomes P cube V square is K into N cube e power 4 e power 3 K into N cube R cube. So in P into V to the power of 3 by 4 is a constant. Now the only tricky part in this question actually is how they mentioned the word polytropic, and students who do not really remember the process name, polytropic process, are going to get confused. Secondly, even about the word constant. Always remember that when you write it in the form of PV power n equal to constant for any polytropic process, n is the corresponding constant. Easier one that was. Next one, an electron is moving with speed of 0.8 c in a medium where c is the speed of light. De Broglie wavelength of the electron. So they are asking us for de Broglie wavelength of an electron. Electron is a real life particle. It has particle nature and transport momentum. So lambda of electron should be h by momentum of electron. That is h by mass of electron into 0.8 times. This is the answer. Now I believe that it was a numerical question. The other points are being mentioned. I would like to simplify this 6.625 times 10 to the power of minus 34 divided by 1.6 divided by 9.1 into 10 to the power of minus 31 kg times 0.8 times 3 into 10 power. You're supposed to simplify the whole thing and write down the answer. If that was supposed to be the tricky part, you can do it. 3 times 9.1 is 27.3. 0.8 when multiplied you get 21.8 into 10 to the power of minus 23 denominator. 6.6 into 10 power minus 34 in numerator. Of course, the division is something that we should sit and do in more detail. But an approximate value should turn out at 0.29 into 10 to the power of minus 11 meters. What they asked is some form of nanometers is there. It's approximately 29 nanometers. And that's what the answer would have been. Probably more of a calculation question. This is something we should be spending our time on while writing the exam. Next one, block of mass mechanics question here. Newton's laws looks like block of mass rests on an inclined plane. The whole system moves upward with a velocity 4. Calculate the work done by friction in 2 seconds. Yeah. So work done by friction is specifically being asked, and if the whole system moves up, then the tricky part to understand is that there are two forces acting on it. That's mg sin theta, and then there's friction this way. And friction is obviously opposing mg sin theta while keeping it equal, so this is also equal to work done by mg sin theta. And then if it moves with a constant velocity, work done should be mg sin theta times distance. Distance is displacement traveled is 4 into 2, so that would be 8 meters. So I write it as 8 into mass is 1 into 3 is 10 into sin theta. So the answer is supposed to be 80 sin theta and nothing. So this option had to be sin theta. One of these both options would have been 80 sin theta, and that's what we get the answer. C6, given mass of proton and neutron, find the binding. Now, this is a textbook question for all of us. That's one of the first things that we are taught, and give the exact same example. 12C6 is the stable nucleus. So the binding energy in total can be calculated. Binding energy in total should be 6 times mass of protons, which is 1.007276, plus 6 times 1.00764. That's 6 times of 6 plus 4 is 0, 7 plus 6 is 4, 2 plus 6 is 9, 8 plus 9 is 17, and then a 0, and then that's 6 into 0, 6 into 4, 6 9 54 plus 2 56, 6 7 42 plus 5 47, 6 1 6 plus 4 0 6. And given that it's a 12C6 nucleus, the original binding energy is the calculated mass calculated. So the mass defect that's occurring is obviously that's 2 points. So this is 12 point. So delta M is 0.0107 640 and they asked us binding energy per nucleon. So once we have this, we can find the binding energy as Nc square, and Nc square should be 0.107 AMU into C square, 931.5 million electron volts per AMU. Since there are options already mentioned, I would not bother much into doing the math. I would write this roughly as 95 million electron volts. And hence, binding energy per nucleon should be 95 million electron volts divided by 12, which should approximately be 8 million electron volts per unit. Closest option, probably 7.42 is what I would mark. The others are much farther. Find the value of inductive reactance given LNC. The series RLC is given. No mention of resistance. Oh. So the tricky part is to look at resonance. If it is in resonance, then we know that omega is equal to 1 by this one. Omega is equal to 1 by root over LC. So that's 1 by root over L is 1.6, C is 40 into 10 to the power minus 6. That's a simpler math to do. 1 by root of 64 into 10 power minus 6, or you'll get it as 1 by 8 into 10 power minus 6. Find the value of inductive reactance is being asked. Now I use the fact that they are in resonance. Inductive reactance XL should be equal to L omega. L is 1.6, omega is 1 by 8 into 10 power minus 3. That's like writing 10 power 3 by 5, or you'll get it as 200 volts. Not a tough question, but the trick lies in observing what happens in resonance and noticing what is omega in resonance. Probably from the original fact that capacitive reactance and inductive reactance have to match with each other. That brings us to the end of the slides. We could collect 17 questions until now. So, couple of points here to note. One, that the weightage has been more for ray optics. There has been a lot of weightage for gravitation in this session. You could also see that there was more than 5 to 6 mechanics questions starting from rotation, kinematics, all of these. So that is something to look forward for. Papers are changing a bit, so let's adapt to this. That's it from my side. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, students. How you are? Hope you are doing all good in examinations. This is Ravindra Reddy, Math faculty, Extension College. So today I am going to discuss about the paper analysis, discussion on yesterday paper, 5th, April 5th, the second shift paper. Okay. So now we are going to discuss all the papers now. So now look at this. Yeah, this is the first question. Okay. Now look at this. So here the question given on binomial expansion. Okay. So binomial theorem. It is a very simple question, very regular question. So it is very related to the IP question. So just here look at that. The question is given here. The coefficient of x square in the binomial expansion of 2x square plus 1 by x whole to the power of 10 is given. So simply here they are asking the coefficient of x power. Okay, so here this is in the form of x plus y whole power here. So let me write here first. What is given that? Now, what is given here? Given expansion is okay, that is 2x square plus 1 by x to the power of 10, right? Which is in the form of x plus y to the power of n. Now, so for here, okay, now for here, so here in the form of x plus y whole power n. So then right here, what is the general form of this? Or the general term I'm writing. So the general term is nothing but that is PR plus 1 is equals to, you know that here NCR x to the power of n minus r y to the power of r form. So here the general term is that implies here dr plus 1 is equals to n is given that 10. So we are writing here 10 CR. Okay, x nothing but this is the 2x square, the term is x. So I'm writing here 2x square. Okay, whole to the power of n minus r. So 10 minus r. And y power r, so we have here 1 by x to the power of r. Right? So we need x power r coefficient. So therefore, what is x power term? We are writing that is here is a 10 CR. So 2 to the power of here 10 minus r. Now x to the power of here 2 of 10 minus r. Okay. By here x power r we have. Now which implies that we write here 10 CR. 2 to the power of 10 minus r. X to the power of this is a 20. So 20 minus 2 into r is a 2r and a minus r. To write x power r coefficient, we need that x power is equal to here. So what they are asking here x power 2 coefficient. Therefore, now let me write here to find x power 2 coefficient. That implies. So we know that the power of x is equal to here. Now the power of x is equal to 2. Simply here, that power of x, this one is equal to 2. So what we have the power of x is here 20 minus 3r is equal to 2. Right? So here 3r is equal to 20 minus 2 is equal to 3r. So therefore r is equal to here 18 by 3. So that implies 6. So to find x power 2 coefficient, substitute r is equal to 6. So then here now required what we have that is x square coefficient is okay. Now substitute here x r is equal to 6 here, which implies 10c r nothing but 10c 6. Okay, and also here 2 to the power of 10 minus 6. 2 to the power of 10 minus 6. So which implies here 10 say 6, the 2 to the power of 4 it is. Okay, simplify it is 10 say 6 into here 2 power 4 is equal to 16. So now, I mean here find the value of here that is NCR formula n factorial by n minus r factorial to r factorial. Simplify, we get the answer that is 3360. That is a very simple question. It's like a basic question. Okay, ideal question. So we go for the next question. Do that. Look at here. In this question, so what is given that here? Here, question on relations. Okay, so question given that A is equals to 2 comma 3 is a set of elements, and B is a 5 comma 6 elements are given. Then number of relations from A cross B to A cross B. Right. So first, you know that what are the elements in A cross B? That is important. So let's write here. What are the elements in A cross B? So here that n of A cross B is equals to n of A cross B nothing but here n of A into n of B. Right? So n of A we have here two elements, right? Two. And n of B because we have two elements, right? So therefore n of A cross B nothing but here four elements. So the question is relation from A cross B to A cross B. So now from this here, the number of relations, the formula here, the number of relations from A to B is equals to formula we have 2 to the power of n of A into n of B. Number of relations from A to B is depending on n of A and n of B, right? So therefore here the n of A cross B nothing but here we have a four elements. So here which is A cross B are having four elements and also A cross B having four elements. Therefore the number of relations, a very simple questions. Now number of relations from here A cross B to the A cross B is so 2 to the power of here 4 and also here 4 implies 2 to the power of 16 is answer. Very simple question. Actually, speak here, right? It's a basic like question. The topic is not in IP, but it is a question in JEE question. Actually, we have a set relations and function, right? All this is a easy question. The next question. Here the question is look at here sequence series question, progression question. In this question, given that A1, A2, A3, and so on, A49, if 49 arithmetic means between 49 and 149, and then the mean of A1 to A47, sorry, A1, A25, A47, and A49 is there asking, right? So how many of arithmetic means are there between 49 and 149 is the A1 to A49? So total 49 arithmetic means are there. So let me write here. That is the arithmetic progression is here. What we have the first term is the 49, right? And the second term is here A1. And the third one is here A2 and A3 and so on here. The last one we have here, this is A49. After that, the last term is the 149. Right? So this is the arithmetic progression is here. Now this 49 arithmetic means are between 49 to 149. The question asks that here, what is the mean of these terms? So we need to find these terms A1, A25, A47, A49. Simply here, A1 is nothing but the second term in the given progression. Okay, so we can also find out how we find this is nothing but the term. So let me find here first. So we need the difference here, the common difference. So therefore, I am finding first what is the common difference. Right, the common difference of D is equal to here, multiply with your T and nothing but nth term. So minus 1 by here n plus 1. So here the D is equal to here. Nth term is 149 minus 49 by here in terms of 49 plus 1. So here it is, we have 100 here by 50 is equal to 2. So we have differences 2. Let me find what are the terms are there first here. So let us find it here. That is a T2. T2 nothing but here A1 it is. This one is A1, right? So here A plus n minus 1 into D form. Right? So here A is nothing but here A is equals first one is the 49 plus n is equal second term 2 minus 1 into difference is 2. So we'll get here 49 plus 2 minus 1 into 2 here plus 1. It is nothing but here 51. Right? So therefore that A1 is equal to we have 51. Similarly, you will find here that A25, A47, and A49. So I am finding here what is the A25 I am finding first. Okay, now A25 is equal to here A plus 25 into divided. Right? So which implies here A value is 49 plus 25 into difference is 2. So this is a 49 plus 50 is equals to here 99. So A25 is equals to here 99. So let's go for here A47. I'm finding here A47. So the A47 nothing but A plus 47D. So which implies here 49 plus 47 into 2. Right? So 49 plus here 10. So 94. Okay, so which implies 3 here 143, which is A47. The same way you'll find here A49 which is here A plus 49D. So A value is a 49 plus a 49 into 2. Okay, so which implies, so 49 plus 49 to nothing but 98. So here 17 and plus 8, 17 here. So that is 147. So which is a 49. The question is asking on mean of these values. So therefore, we need mean of, okay, that A first one is a 1 and A 25, A 47 and A 49 is which implies here. That is the value of this one. So what we have first one is a 51 plus 99 plus here. This is the 143 plus here 147 whole by 4. Which equals to here. Get simplifying this one, automatic mean of these four values, we get 110. Okay, so that is the answer. That is the option 1. Is that question? We go for the next one. Very simple question by using pattern calculation. Next one here. So the question is on the limits. Definitely every time we will get the one question on the limits concept. Limits question, continuity and differentiability are the questions are must and should. So this is the question look at here. F of x is given is on limits. So it's a combination question. Again here after finding f of x here, so they are asking the number of point of intersection of f of x and sin x. So this is a combination with point of intersection graphically, point of intersection of the curves, right? So here let me find what is f of x by using limits concept. So I'm finding here f of x first. So that f of x is given that a limit y tends to 0. So here 1 minus cos xy into here tan of xy whole by y cube is given. So look at here, limit y tends to 0 here. The function is in y terms, right? So therefore here, right, limit y tends to 0. Now 1 minus cos x it is. 1 minus cos x is equals to here. We have 2 sin square x by 2. So 1 minus cos xy we have here. So 2 sin square xy by 2. This is right. And also here into we have this is the tan xy, okay, by y cube. So understand here this is 2 sin square x by 2 we have here. So in the form of here, right? 2 sin square x by 2. So x by 2 nothing but here what we have x y by 2. Sin square x by 2 here. Yes. Now from this, so how will you write this one here? So we have here y tends to 0 this is. So therefore I'm writing 2 is outside. Okay. Limit I'm taking y tends to 0. So this is we have sin square in the form of here y tends to 0 here. Sin x by 2 y is whole square. So what I'm writing here sin of x by 2 y by y I'm writing whole square I'm taking. Clear? So this I'm writing here 2 outside. This is sin x by 2 y by y whole square. Here divided with the y square. Right? So therefore I am multiplying with the y square here. And the next we have here tan xy. So therefore I am writing here tan xy by y I am writing. Okay, here I am dividing with the y. So therefore again I am multiplying with the y here. So y we have y cube. Okay, so now look here. Sin of here x by 2 y by y square dividing here. So multiply with the y square and into tan xy we have. So multiply divided with the y. So therefore tan xy by y into y here, and we have y cube here already. So now for this is a 2. Okay, so here sin x by 2 y by y whole square. So we know that here sin ax by x whole square nothing but a square. So therefore what you write here this is x by 2 whole square. Okay, into here we have, okay, so this here y square here we have y cancel, okay, y cube cancel here. So what we have here y square we have right here y square x by 2 by y whole square. Okay, so y square here we have, so that implies, yeah, this is one nothing say. I'm writing here nothing but y axis. Okay, now here this is x by 2 whole square. So here y square y to cancel. So here let me apply here limit y tends to 0 here tan of x y by y I'm writing this one, right? So therefore here this is 2 by 4, it is x square, and this is we have only x, right? Which implies here we have x cube by 2. So that f of x what we require is it is x cube by 2. Now apply this f of x here in this. Okay, so let me go for here. Given that now they're asking here to find the point of intersection of the f of x, nothing but we have x cube by 2, and other one is here sin x. Okay, so there. How do you find this one? So the graphically I'm going back. Drawing the graphically here. Okay, so first I'm writing with the sin x graph 0. Okay, this is pi by 2. Here we have a pi, and here this is the minus pi by 2, and here minus pi something. Okay, so we know that sin 0 is 0, sin pi by 2 is 1. Okay, and minus pi by another one here minus 1 here. So therefore 0 days. So here minus 1, and it is a 0. So the graph of sin x. This is the graph of sin x, right? And the graph of x cube by 2. So the graph of x cube by 2 is in the form of like here. So this one the graph of x cube by 2 or x cube here. So therefore the graph of x cube is like this. Here it is passing through 0 here, like here. And here it is the same thing. Now the point of intersection of these two curves is this is one of the point, this is one of the point here, and it is one of the point. So therefore the question may be also asked like here. The number of solutions of given two function is also 3 points. So the point of intersection of given two curves is 3 here. So let me write the answer is now the number of point of intersections are is equal to 3. So answer is here 3. Right? So next question. Here alpha comma beta are the roots of equation given, and the gamma comma delta are the roots of an equation, quadratic equation, and when alpha beta gamma delta are forms geometric progression with a positive common ratio, and then the value of p plus q they are asking. So look at here. So here given that two quadratic equations. So each quadratic equation have two roots alpha, beta, gamma, delta. The relation between these two is given that all these four are in the geometric progression, have common ratio. So what we do, we suppose take the roots are alpha, beta, gamma, delta are in the geometric progression that we need to suppose take here. So here those are given that in geometric progression that I am supposed to take here. So here I am taking that. Now here, so what is given that? First I am writing what is given first. Now what is given that? First I am writing. So given first x square minus 4x plus p is equal to 0. Okay, so here given that alpha comma beta are roots. Alpha comma beta are the roots here. So here given that one more is what is that here given that x square minus x plus q is equal to 0. So let me suppose here alpha beta and gamma delta are roots given that. It's given already alpha gamma delta are the roots. Now from this, here let us supposing it's given that alpha beta gamma delta are in geometric progression, right? So therefore, let us supposing that are here. A1 is AR square, AR cube. AR square, AR power 3 are in geometric progression. So these are in geometric progression. So I am taking here in geometric progression. So what is given that? This is suppose alpha comma beta, and this two suppose take it beta gamma comma delta here. So from this, so I'm writing here for alpha comma beta, sum of roots is so alpha plus beta is equal to here. That is a plus AR is equal to for the first equation. Sum of roots is minus b by a. So therefore minus of minus plus minus 4 by 1 here. So here a is common. So 1 plus r is equal to 4. Suppose that was the equation. After the same thing for the second quadratic equation. So here we have gamma plus a delta. Okay, that is nothing but here what we have AR square plus AR power 3 that equals to here. It's given that 1. So what's the common here? A R square is common. So 1 plus R is equal to 1. So A into 1 plus R equals to 4 we have. So therefore I am supposing R square into here. This is 4 is equal to 1. So that R square is equal to 1 by 4. So here R is equal to 1 by 2. We got R value is 1 by 2. And from this, you can also find here A value, right? So here I am finding the A value. So what is A here? So A into 1 plus 1 by 2 is equal to 4. So A into here, 3 by 2 is equal to 4. So the A value is 8 by 3. What A value is 8 by 3 and R value is 1 by 2. So from this, you can also find here AR square and AR cube. So I am finding AR square is. So AR square nothing but here 8 by 3. Okay, R square nothing but here 1 by 2. So what we have here? The 2 by 3. Right? Second here AR square nothing but 8 by 3 into R square nothing but 1 by 4. So 2 by 3. Yes. Now AR cube is. So 8 by 3. Now 1 by 8 is equals to here 1 by 3. Now here this is alpha, beta, gamma, delta values here. Now the question is here that P plus Q. What is P here? P is nothing but which is the product of roots. So that alpha, beta is P here and gamma, delta is here Q simply. Right? So therefore now alpha, beta is equals to P. Alpha, beta is nothing but here A into AR is equals to P. So now A into AR, A is here 8 by 3. Then AR is equals to what we have? Find AR. So right here AR. Now AR is equals to here. A is 8 by 3. R is equals to 1 by 2. So therefore this is the 4 by 2. So therefore 8 by 3 into here 4 by 3. But 32 by 9 it is. And next one here. Now gamma into delta is equals to Q. That implies here AR square into AR power 3 is equals to Q. Now AR square value is 2 by 3. And this is the 1 by 3. So plus here 2 by 9. The Q value is 2 by 9 here. Now they are asking for here P plus Q. Therefore 32 by 9 plus 2 by 9. So the answer is 34 by 9. So here the answer is 34 by 9 is the fourth option. Right? So for the next one. So this is the question on non-quadratic equations. Yeah. So look at here. The question is on vector algebra. Here the question given that OP bar is A bar, OQ bar is a B bar, and R B point on the OB such that the 5 times of OR bar equals OP bar, and M be a point on OQ such that given by RM bar is equals to OQ bar, then PM bar is equal to. Okay, so that PM bar value we have to find that is in these terms. Okay, so you know that here what is the OP bar it is. OP bar equals AR and OQ bar equals B bar. So let me write from the what is given first. Yeah, OP bar is equals here A bar, right? Okay, and the OQ bar is equals here we have B bar. Okay, the next. Now, so what is given from that? They are given that 5 OR bar equals to OP bar. So they are given that 5 OR bar is equals to here OP bar, right? Which implies here A bar. So from here I am writing what is OR bar is. OR bar is A bar by 5. Supposed to bar here. And also next one here. Given that this relation, yeah, pi R M bar is equal to here OQ bar. So pi R M bar is equal to here OQ bar is nothing but here this is the B bar, right? So I'm writing here R M bar is equal to B bar by 5. This is the second equation. So what we need here, we need the PM bar is PM bar nothing but OM bar minus OB bar. We had OP bar here, but we don't know OM bar. So for that, I need to find OM bar. Okay. So now I'm finding here OM bar. So from known what we have OR bar and RM bar, I'm writing this is OR bar plus RM bar. So OR bar nothing but here A bar by 5 plus RM R is the B bar by 5. So therefore here 1 by 5 of A bar plus B bar. So this is OM bar. Now what we required here, we required is PM bar, right? PM bar is equals to here OM bar minus OB bar. So OM bar is 1 by 5 of A bar plus B bar, okay, minus OB bar is A bar. So which implies, what do you get now? A bar plus a B bar minus a pi A bar whole by pi. So A bar minus pi A bar nothing but minus 4A bar. So therefore, B bar minus 4A bar by pi. So just look at the answer here. What is there here? B bar minus 4A bar, B bar minus 4A bar by pi. So therefore, option B is the correct answer. So we need to get idea that what we require to find is a PM bar, is a OM bar minus OP bar. We have already OP bar, so we need to find the OM bar from the known. What are the known are here? That is from we are finding OM bar. We can find the OP bar. Right. Now, shall we go for the next one? Here the question is the regular question. So every JEE examination will have the question on shorter distance and the 3D lines put up perpendicular or image questions. Definitely, the distance measured parallel. All the questions are different questions are there in JEE. So this is the regular question. So, but here given that the distance, image concept from that. Okay. So what is given here? The distance of a point from image of the point in the line is given. So here one of the points here we require to find the image point of the 1 to 7 in the line that is given. Okay, and is given 4. The distance is given 4 from that. The sum of all possible values are A. Okay, so here like the question is given that the concept is a simple concept is the same, the regular concept, but maybe the problem solution is going to take time because of here we need to find image of the point here first. Then now the distance between those two are given here in 4, and from that we need to find what are the possible values of A, right? So now let me go first. What is given first? Given point is A 2 5, and also get given that here 1 2 7. So we need the image of this point in the line here. That is one. So here diagrammatically I am writing here. This is a statement is given that x by 1 is equals to here, y minus 1 by 1 is equals to here, z minus 2 by 2, right? So image of the point we need to find. The point is given here 1 comma 2 comma 7. Okay, so this is the image. Suppose this is the point B, image is the 2, and suppose if the image point is alpha, beta, gamma. So here always put a perpendicular. You know that the put a perpendicular is always midpoint of these 2 points P comma Q. Right. So here, how do you find the Q point first, alpha, beta, gamma? Just observe that here. Q is the image of the point P. Let's put the straight line. The line should be PQ bar is perpendicular to the given line. So the basic condition here is that the PQ bar is perpendicular to the given line. So when the two lines are perpendicular, then the product of sum of the product of direction ratios are equal to 0. Right. So let me find first the direction ratios of the PQ bar and the direction ratios of the direction. Already we have is given that 1 1 2. So now using this concept here. Okay. So now let us suppose the image is alpha, beta, gamma. Right. So I'm writing first. Okay. So that the line which PQ bar is always perpendicular to the line L equals to 0. So since these two lines are perpendicular, then A1 A2 plus B1 B2. I'm writing the direction ratios properties. So what are the direction ratios of PQ bar is? It is x2 minus x1, alpha minus 1, beta minus 2, and gamma minus 7. And the direction ratios are 1 comma 2. So I'm writing directly here. That is alpha minus 1 into 1 plus beta minus 2 into here 1 plus and gamma minus 7. Gamma minus 7 into here 2 equal to 0. Right here alpha plus beta plus 2 gamma minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 minus 14 minus 17 equals to 0. So alpha plus beta plus 2 gamma is equals to 17. This is supposed to be the one condition. And the next one, to find this one, what we have already conditions. So here image of midpoint of PQ is a put up perpendicular should be lies on this one. So I am finding what is M here. M is the midpoint of midpoint of a PQ bar is should be lies on the straight line here L equals to 0, right? So I am directly substituting the midpoint of this PQ in the straight line equation. That what is x nothing but here x nothing but the midpoint of this alpha plus 1 by 2. So therefore that is alpha plus 1 by 2 equals to here. And what is the y? Y is here beta plus 2 by 2. So therefore, that the beta plus 2 by 2 here. Okay, minus 1 beta by 1 which is equals to here. And that is nothing but here gamma minus 7 by 2 minus 2 here whole by 2. Okay, which is lies on the straight line. So what we have here alpha plus 1 by 2 is equals to here beta plus 2 by 2 is minus 2 here by 2 this is right, which is equals to here gamma minus 7 minus 4 by 2 to the 4 here. Okay, gamma minus 7 minus 4 by 2 to the 4. So here alpha plus 1 equals to beta, the one relation we have here, alpha plus 1 equals to beta, and the next one here, beta by 2 is equals to here, gamma is a minus, so minus 11 by 4. Okay, just look at here, gamma minus 7 by, okay, gamma minus 7 by 1 comma 2 comma 7. Okay. So here, this is a plus. Here, this one is. Now here, this is alpha plus 1 by 2, beta plus 1 by 2 minus 1, gamma plus 7 by 2 minus 2. Okay, so what we got here, gamma plus 7 minus 4 by 4. So gamma plus 3, right? So here we have gamma plus 3. Now here gamma plus 3 by 4, right? So once again here gamma plus here 2 minus 2 into 4, 7 minus 4 nothing but 3 by 2 into 4 here. So here relation between this. So 2 beta is equals to here gamma plus 3. Have 2 beta is equals to gamma plus 3. So from this one, using this relation, let me find here what is alpha or beta or gamma here. So what are they here? Okay, so beta we have here. So beta in terms of here alpha is equals to red. Okay, so alpha is equals to I'm writing here beta minus 1 here. So here gamma is equals to here 2 beta minus 3, right? 2 beta minus 3. Substitute all these here from the 1. So it is beta minus 1, then beta minus 1 right, plus beta here as this, and the 2 gamma nothing but here 4 beta, 2 gamma nothing but 4 beta minus 6 is equals to 7 beta, right? So here 6 beta. Now minus 7 minus 1 plus 24 here. Therefore, beta is equals to 4. And now beta is equals to 4. So alpha is equals to 3. Now gamma is equals to here. Beta equals 4 nothing but 8 minus 3 5. So we have alpha beta gamma values 3 4 5. Right? So this is 3 4 5. It is 3 4 5. Right? So now let me hear next one question is now the distance between these two is given that 4 units. So the given distance is I'm writing here distance. Distance PQ is equals to 4 units. So nothing but under root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. That is 3 minus 1 whole square, 2 whole square is a 4 plus 4 minus 2 square is a 4 plus 5 minus 7 we have 2 square is a 4 is equals to here from this alpha here 8 to 5. Sorry. The distance from the other point, right? Not from here. So from this, the point is here given that not PQ. Now the distance given is equals to 4 from this point here. Which one? 8 to 5 and this 3 4 5. So alpha minus here. So alpha minus the point alpha is here minus 3 whole square plus. Next one is 2 minus 4 2 square here. Okay, next one. So 5 minus 5, 0. So 0 square equals to here 4 square this is. Because of under the whole square I'm writing. Now here alpha square plus 9 minus 6 alpha plus 4 is equals to 16. So alpha square minus 6 alpha here, that is minus 3 is equals to 0. So now here the roots of this equation suppose alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 and so on here. Now here alpha square nothing but it is the sum of 2 roots only. The question asking that what are the sum of all positive values are there. Now sum of alpha here. Sum of alpha 1 and alpha 2 or alpha 2 here. It is a minus 3 by 8, so therefore 6. 6 by 1 nothing but answer is 6. So therefore here answer is 3 option. It's a lengthy question, but needs time to take. Okay, we will get the correct answer. Then go for the next one. In this question. E of hyperbola are 3 comma 5 and 3 comma minus 4. Eccentricity E of hyperbola satisfy the equation given. Length of lattice rectum is. Definitely we'll get 1 or 2 questions from the ellipse and hyperbola. Every year we are getting 1 question from a circle Massanchu and ellipse and hyperbola. And generally here the questions are on confocal questions, but here given the questions a bit on the hyperbola here. Now the answer look at here. So what are given? So let me draw the diagram of hyperbola. So which having focus 3 comma 5 and 3 comma minus 4. So what I'm drawing the diagram of hyperbola. So which are having here, I'm giving here. The focus, one of the focus is here is dash, I'm suppose, and other is the S. This is the 3 comma minus 4, I'm supposing, and this is given 3 comma 5 is given, right? So now here given that now one of the equation here, eccentricity E of hyperbola satisfies this equation. So what is the given equation is it here? Given equation B is a 3E square minus 11E plus 6 is equal to 0, right? Quantity is 18, sum is to 11 here. So what I'm writing this is 3E square, okay, minus 9E minus 2E plus 6 is equal to 0. So here, 3E is common. We have E minus 3 minus 2 common here. E minus 3 equals to 0. Now we have E minus 3 into 3E minus 2 equals to 0. Therefore, the values of E equals to 3 comma 2 by 3. Now E value, E is eccentricity of hyperbola. It should be greater than 1. So here 2 by 3 we have. So therefore E not equals to 2 by 3, which is here less than 1. Right? So E is equals to only 3. So we have E is equals to 3. Now observe that here, this is the S focus and S dash here. So now you can find the distance between focus. Okay, so here given the distance between focus nothing but S dash is equals to, that is a 2 AE. That is equals to distance between these two nothing but here the 5 units. Okay, here the 5 units, here the 4 units. So 5 plus 4 nothing but 9 units simply. Right? 5 plus 4 units nothing but 9 units. So 2A, here we have already E value here. So let me use the E value is 3. Is equals to 9, right? So 2A is equals to 3. So A value is 3 by 2. You got A value is 3 by 2 and eccentricity value is 3. Now the question is, find the length of lattice rectum. So let me find the length of lattice rectum is. Now length of lattice rectum is equals to formula for this. It is a 2B square by A. So here this is 2 B square nothing but A square into, since it is a hyperbola, therefore here A square minus 1 by A. Now 1 A cancel here. So 2 into here. What is A? A is equals to 3 by 2. Right? E square minus 1. E value is 3. 3 square is a 9 minus 1. So here 2 to cancel, right? Now 3 into 8. So equals to here 24. So our required answer is 24, the option 2, 24. Right? Good. The next one. Yes, so here look at this question. Y of x is a solution of differential equation. Under root of tan x into dy equals to secant cube x minus y of tan x whole power 3 by 2 dx. And y of pi by 4 is given. Then they are asking the value of y of pi by 3. So this is a question on a differential equation. So generally here every time they are asking the question on linear differential equation. Here also this is a question can be framed into a linear differential equation form. From that, we need to find the solution, and to find the constant value, we use the what is given condition y of pi by 4. Then what the required to find is y of pi by 3. So first we change the given equation. Okay. So what is given equation first? Now the given equation is, it is, yeah. So root of tan x we have, right? Okay. So therefore I'm writing here dy by dx is equal to I'm writing. That is secant cube x minus y of here the tan x to the power of 3 by 2. 4 by we have under root of tan x. Right. So this is the form of dy by dx. Secant cube x minus y of tan x to the power of 3 by 2 by root tan x. So change into dy by dx plus p of x into y equals p of x form. So I'm writing here dy by dx. Okay. Plus p of x into form nothing but here we have a tan x to the power of 3 by 2 by. So here under root of tan x into y is equals to here. Now secant cube x whole by under root of tan x. Right? Secant cube x by root of tan x. So which is the form of dy by dx plus p of x into y is equals to q of x form. Right? So here what do you get now? Dy by dx plus 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2. Yeah, 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2. So what you get now here? Tan x. Okay, with the power of 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2, nothing but here 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2. So here let me 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2 by nothing but 1. So simply here this is only tan x into y is equal to here secant cube x by root of tan x. Okay, so now from this here this is a linear differential equation. It is a linear differential equation. So for this we need integrating factor. Integrating factor is e power integration of p of x into dx. So e power integration of what we have here tan x. So integration of tan x into dx. So e power integration of log mod secant x. Integration of tan x is, so we have the secant x is the integrating factor. Now after finding integrating factor, we need to find the solution. So I am finding what is the solution here. Now the solution is y into integrating factor is equals to integration of q of x into integrating factor of dx plus c. So here y into integrating factor is what is the integrating factor? What we got here? It is a secant x. Secant x. So integration here what is the q of x on the right side part? What is the q of x here? That is the secant q x. Okay, by root of tan x. Into integrating factor is again we have this is the secant x of dx. Okay, now we find this one. Yeah, here this is y secant x. It is a lengthy question, but we need patience to get the answer because some of the questions are given lengthy questions. So here integration. This is the secant power 4x. So let's write here secant square x into secant square x by under root of tan x here. Okay, into dx. So here y into secant x. We write as secant square x is a 1 plus tan square x. Now by under root of tan x here into here secant square x into dx. So observe that here to find the integration of this thing, derivative of tan x is secant square x dx we have. So let me suppose take tan x is equals to t. Now secant square x dx is equals to t. So I'm writing here this is y secant x is equals to here integration of. So this is the 1 plus t square because I'm supposing tan x is equals to t by here under root of t this is secant square x dx is nothing but here dt. So y into secant x is equals to here. Now integration of this is the 1 by root t dt, this one, and the plus integration here. T square by root t we have. So t square by root t nothing but here 2 minus 1 by 2. 2 minus 1 by 2 nothing but 3 by 2 dt. Right? So what do you get answer here? This one is, so here we have y into secant x. Okay, now equals to here integration of 1 by root t, derivative of root x nothing but 1 by 2 root x. So here we need 1 by 2 root x nothing but 1 by 2 root t is equals to root t. So we need 2 here. So therefore what do you get now? 2 root t it is. And the plus t power 3 by 2. So t power n formula n plus 1. N plus 1 by here. Here t power n is n plus 1 by n plus 1. So what do you get now here? N plus 1 nothing but 3 by 2 plus 1 is 5 by 2. This is the 2 by 5. T to the power of 5 by 2. 3 by 2 plus 1 is a 5 by 2. Okay. So now y into secant x is equals here to root of t is equals to what we suppose here tan x. Okay. Plus 2 by 5 tan x. Okay. To the power of 5 by 2. This one. So plus c we have here. Now, and this the question is y of pi by 4 is given 6 root 2 pi by 5. Then ask them y of pi by 3. So when it is to find c value, use this condition. Okay. So whatever we have here, y secant x here. This one I'm substituting here y into. Okay. So here y into secant of we have pi by 4. Pi by 4 here given is equals here. So from this pi by 4 here. Now 2 root of tan x. So we have 2 root of tan x. So 2 root of here tan pi by 4 here. Okay. And the next one here we have plus 2 by 5 tan x. plus 2 by 5 tan x to the power of 5 by 2 plus 2 by 5. Okay, tan x to the power of 5 by 2. Okay, plus c. So secant 5 by 4 nothing but here 1 by cos 5 by 4. So this is root 2 here by root 2. Okay. So here root 2 this is equals to here. This one what we have here. 5 by 4. Okay, so secant of 5 by 4 is given that. Okay. So the value of this is equals to 6 root 2 by 5 is given already, right? Here. So therefore this is this. Given the value here already, the value is equals to here. We have 5 by 4. The 6 root 2 by 5. Putting this in form. 6 root 2 by 5 here. This is equals here 2. Oh, okay, this is 1 it is plus. Okay, so now 2 by 5 of here tan of 5. 1 by 2 plus 6. Simplify here, we'll get the c is equals to 0. After simplification, we get the c is equals to 0. Now, after that, can c is equals to 0. So here c is equals to 0 in this. So if c is equals to 0 here, right? So then y taking secant 5 by 3 equals to 2 under root of here tan 5 by 3 plus 2 by 5 of here tan of 5 by 3 with the power of 5 by 2. Simplify here, we get a y is equals to, after that simplification, secant 5 by 3 value substitute here, tan 5 by 3 value is tan 60 root 3 value substitute here, simplify, we get it is answer of here 8 by 5, here 3 to the power of 1 by 4. It's a lengthy question from that. Okay, so go for the next one. In this question, what is given here, consider parabola y is equals to 8x. Okay, directrix of parabola curves x-axis at A and PQ is the focal point of parabola, slope of P is given, and axis of P is given greater than 1. Then, what is the area of triangle AQP to find? So, we need to first draw the diagram of the parabola. So, that is given that y square equals 8x. Okay, and here, also given that. So, x-axis parabola curves x-axis at the point A. Parabola curves x-axis at the point A here. Okay. The directrix of parabola curves x-axis. So here this one is okay. Directrix of parabola curves x-axis at point A here. This is the A, and okay. Focal chord is PQ. Focal chord is PQ here. Suppose we the P here. It is a Q. Focal chord was into focus. Right now here given that P slope is given that 3 by 5. Axis of P is greater than 1. Then area of triangle APQ, area of triangle A here, this one, area of triangle APQ to find. So this one, we have to find this one. Now, yeah, this is given that y square is equals to 8x. Okay, so that here 4a is equals to 8, so that a is equals to 2. Now focus is a comma 0, 2 comma 0. Now it should be minus a comma 0, minus 2 comma 0. P always here a t square comma 2at and a q, which PQ bar is a focal chord. So when PQ bar is a focal chord, the 2 points are must and should be here. T is equals to T1, T2 are T2 is equals to minus 1 by T1. So here T square this is and the minus 2a by T because of T1, T2 is equals we use the concept is equals to minus 1. The T2 is minus 1 by T1 here because in points of focal chord from that. So here, what is A is equals to here we have A is equals to 2. So therefore the P point is here 8 is square nothing but 2t square and 280 nothing but here 4t. And the Q points are here. A by t square, so 2 by t square and minus 3a by t minus here 4 by t. This is the Q point. And the A point is here minus 2 comma 0. And given that slope of AP is equals to 3. Now, the slope of AP or PA is equals to 3 by 5. 3 by 5. So, now from this PA is equals to x2 minus x1 by y2 minus y1. It is 4t by k2t square plus 2 is equals to 3 by 5. So, here 2 cancel. So, 2t by here t square plus 1 is equals to here 3 by 5. So 3t square plus 3 is equals to 10t. So 3t square minus 10t plus 3 is equals to 0. So 3t square minus 9t minus t plus 3 is equals to 0. 3t is common, t minus 3 minus 1 common, t minus 3 equals 0. The t values are 3 comma 1 by 3. Right? So here t is always that here t is equals 3 comma 1 by 3 got here. So here t is always greater than 1 given. So that values are abscissa of the quantity greater than nothing, but here exists only for t equals 3. So here t is not equals to 1 by 3 and t is equals to only 3. So what you get the p point here? P is a 2t square. 2t square nothing but here 9 into 2, 18. Okay. So 2t square here, yes, and 4t nothing but 12. And the q point is 2 by t square, 2 by 9 is 2 by 9, and minus 4 by t minus 4 by t is equal to 3 minus 4 by 3. The a point is here we have minus 2 comma 0. The question is area of triangle APQ. So now the area of triangle is triangle APQ is equal to here what you substitute formula is here 1 by 2 of x1 y1 1 x2 y2 1 and x3 y3 1. Okay, now use the formula again. Substitute the values. What are we have here x1 y1 x2 y2 x3 y3 here 1 1 1. Simplify here because the answer is 18 by 3. Right. So look for next one. So here, trigonometry is equals to cos theta into cos of pi theta by 2 because cos 7 theta into cos 7 theta by 2, then n of s. Number of solutions is 2 pi. So here simple one here given what is the cos theta into cos of pi theta by 2 is equals to here cos 7 theta into cos of 7 theta by 2. We need cos A cos B form. So I am multiplying with the 2 on both sides. So what you get 2 cos pi theta by 2, I am writing order wise cos theta here to cos of 7 theta by 2 and cos 7 theta by 2. Take 2 cos A cos B is equals here. Cos of A plus B plus cos of A minus B. Cos of A plus B nothing but pi theta by 2 plus theta. Okay, so 7 theta by 2. Cos of A plus B plus cos of A minus B. Pi theta by 2 minus theta is here. So 3 theta by 2. Pi theta by 2 minus theta nothing but here minus 2 theta. So 3 theta by 2 equals again same here. Cos of A plus B, 21 theta by 2 plus cos of A minus B. Okay, so 7 theta minus 1 minus 1 by 2 here minus cos of minus theta. So therefore, cos theta 7 theta by 2 I am writing there. So what is there here? Cos of 7 theta by 2 is common. Second thing is we write here cos of 21 theta by 2 minus cos of 3 theta by 2 is equal to 0. So cos of 21 theta by 2 minus cos of 3 theta by 2 is equal to 0 here. Now apply the cos theta, I mean cos C minus cos D form. Now use the cos C minus cos D form. Cos C minus cos D form. So cos C minus cos D is equal to here minus 2 sin C plus D by 2 sin of C minus D by 2 form. So we get here minus 2 sin of C plus D by 2. Now C plus D by nothing but 21 plus 3, 24 by 2. By nothing but here, 24 by 4 it is equal to here, the 16 term. Right? Now C minus D nothing but 21 minus 3 here. So it is nothing but here 18, 18 by 4, nothing but 9 by 2. So sin of 9 by theta is equal to 0. So we need the solution of this one and this one. Right? So therefore here sin 6 theta by 2 is equal to 0 here. But theta should be satisfying this interval given that minus pi to pi here. So which are we get here? Totally here we get minus nothing but plus or minus we get the values here. So here we get number of solutions are here we get 13 here we get, and after here sin of 9 theta by 2 equals 0. We saw this number of here solutions are we get 6. The total is equal to here 19. So you can get the 19 solutions. Answer is 2 here. Next. So here the complex number question. Simple one here z square plus 4z minus r 1 plus 12i equals 0, and then the value of mod z1 square plus z square is. So simply here that given z square minus plus 4z minus of 1 plus 12i is equals to 0, which is a conic equation form. Just here the z is equals to minus b plus or minus under root of b square formula minus b under root of b square minus 4ac by 2a form. So that z is equal to here 4 minus 4 here plus or minus under root of b square 16 minus of minus plus 4 of 1 plus 12I, okay, by 2a 2. So here we get a minus 4 plus or minus under root of 16 plus 4 here plus 48I by 2. So here minus 2 plus or minus, this is 20 nothing but 5. So we get under root of here 5 plus. So what you get now here 48 nothing but we get 4 into 12. So 12I. This is. So here the minus 2 plus or minus. The under root of 5 plus 12 nothing but spirit of a complex number. So if you do this one here, we will get a 3 plus 2I. So that is equals to 1 is minus 2 plus 3, 1 plus 2I. Another one is this is the Z1 and the Z2 is equal minus 2 minus. So minus 5 minus 2I here. So simplifying this, so modulus Z1 square we needed here, modulus Z2 square we needed here. So under root of square nothing but here. This is 1 plus 4 plus this is the 25 plus 4. So nothing but 5 here, 29, 30, 34. So answer is here. 34 is answer. Right? Okay. Now this is a question on permutations. Simply here, the bag contains 5 red balls, 6 blue balls, and the 4 black balls of the same color are considered to be distinct. Number of ways in which 8 balls can be selected. If at least 2 balls of each color is there, at least 2 balls to select here, the total number of balls is equal to 8. So here given that red balls. Okay, so here let me go with the least ball here, black balls, and here the next red balls, then blue balls. Okay, so here the what are there here highest we have here is a 4 balls, right? Here highest is the 5 ball, here the 6 balls here. The total you have to get here 8 balls. Now how the number of ways to be selected? So here I am taking the maximum number first, the 4. So here I am taking this one is 4 here. I have to take only 2. So 2 plus 2 I am writing first. Only 2 plus 2 here. Because of it's already 4, we have to we get only 4 remaining is should be at least 2 elements, 2 balls here, 2 plus 2 here. Then if I am taking here 3, so if I am writing here 3 plus 2, okay, or 3 plus 2 here, 5 plus 3, 8 here. Now if I am writing here 3 here, again 3 comma 2 can take here. So if I am taking here this one, okay, so 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 3 8. I am writing here 2 here, 2 3 5, 5 plus 3 8. More than at least 2 here. And again here 3, 2 elements. I am taking 4 here, 6 plus 2. That's here 2 here. This is a 2 and this is the 4. So these are the number of ways you can select the ball from these given balls. So here now how the number of selection nothing but here. How the number of selections are nothing but here from the total 4 balls we are selecting 4. So therefore we write here 4 C4 into here. This one is from 5 balls to selecting 5 C2 into here. Here 6 balls from the we are directing only 2 balls, now 6 into 10 this. So in that way we can write all the values here. Okay, now the total number of ways is equal to adding all these, right? We get the answer. Okay, so here we are getting answer is here 4100 total. Thank you for all.